Welcome to Mind Canon. I am your host, the Fat Mantis, and we were reviewing Clone Wars, Season 7, Episode 10, The Phantom Apprentice. Now this episode came down to simply being one huge excuse to put Darth Maul and Ahsoka Tano into one very long lightsaber fight. And to that I say, thank goodness. I want more of that. To be honest, I want more of these producers pandering to me, the audience, because after all, I'm here to be entertained. Now, before we get into the nitty and the gritty of the actual review, I want to head up two very important little chilling moments right there. The first one is when a chill went down my spine when Ahsoka was in communique with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he's got his hood on, and he's a hologram, and she's like, well, we need to interrogate Dooku, and he said, unfortunately, that can never happen. And she says, why? And he says, because Anakin Skywalker has already killed him while we were rescuing the Chancellor. Chill went down my spine, and I realized Revenge of the Sith has already begun. This was a moment that we knew was destined to happen. We had been waiting for it since Season 1, Episode 1. We knew it was eventually going to happen, but we couldn't envision how it would. And here we are in the final moments. The dark side is about to win the war, and I cannot wait another moment until Friday's next episode. Now, the other thing I want to point out is that there was a quick nod and explanation to something that's going on into the hit Disney Plus show, The Mandalorian. So, there is a interesting question that the Mandalorian, our boy Mando, he is a member of DEATHWATCH. It's very clear. Now, I don't know if we see people with the DEATHWATCH insignia. The people who rescued him in the flashback when he's a little boy are definitely wearing DEATHWATCH insignias on them. But the actual crew that he's hanging out with in the sewer in that original planet in the series don't seem to have it at all. However, the heavy weapons soldier that he gets into a knife fight with is named Paz Vizsla. Now, it has been confirmed off-screen that that indeed was the son of Pre-Vizsla, who was the head of DEATHWATCH during the Clone Wars. And, we know he is the son of Tau Vizsla, who was the DEATHWATCH leader during the Mandalorian Civil War. So there's a whole tradition of DEATHWATCHery. But that explains why Mando is not a true Mandalorian, which was the faction that Satines, that's just Satines people, these peaceful, pacifist, nice guys. And he's part of the ones who are super militant, super deranged, they love to wear the helmets, all sorts of crazy stuff. And there's a whole explanation to this, because what it is true Mandalorians controlled the planet, but they lost. They were controlled by Darth Maul, and it's DEATHWATCH who is rescuing them. And Bo-Katan is DEATHWATCH, so it makes sense that even though they're scumbags, they're the liberators. They're in terms of history, they will be the heroes of the Mandalorian Wars. And they will be the heroes who are rescuing their people right now. True freedom fighters. It's actually really interesting. And we actually see these seeds where Bo-Katan is watching the clone troopers round up her own people. And they're claiming they're just trying to organize. And she's like, I don't like you people coming in here. I don't want you to think you're here to occupy. And as we know, this is going to go terribly wrong for the people of Mandalore, which will start all sorts of things and lead into the Mandalorian. But I like that these little, if you have to pay attention, but these little seeds are being planted right over there. This is a great moment for Ahsoka. This is the first time she has ever been asked to the dance. And when I say that, I mean the first time she's been offered to join the dark side. It's called the Phantom Apprentice because Darth Maul wanted to recruit her to the dark side. And of course, first she seems like she's into it, but it was all a trick because she's ready to kick his butt. But that's the first time we've ever seen a thing. And usually everyone is asking Anakin to the dance. Anakin's a big old slut. Like, basically every other week, some Force user is asking Anakin to join the dark side. I bet people who aren't even on the dark side ask Anakin to join the dark side. It happens so often in both the series and the movies, it's kind of a drag. Now, Obi-Wan, he's interesting. He's like one of those guys, one of those really faithful, good guys, who, he marries his high school girlfriend. He got offered once, Dooku. Dooku was like, join the dark side and attack the clones, and he was like, nah, bro. And after that, everyone's like, he's loyal, he's loyal to the light side. He's a faithful man. I'm not gonna mess with him. He's like Marshall Erickson from How I Met Your Mother, if anyone is getting that reference. But this is a turning point for Ahsoka. They were able to end the series with her at least being tempted to join the dark side. Now, I know you're thinking, she turns to the dark side technically when she was on the Overlords saga, where she is on Mortis. Now, however, she's actually bit by the sun while he's in this form of a snake, and it infects her blood and turns her evil. That's not the true thing. You have to be asked. You have to be, it's that someone desires you is what we're all coveting here. You know what I mean? And it kind of made it seem like no one really likes Ahsoka. No one wants her. But Ahsoka's one of those chicks that once you get to know her, you realize the girl is magic and you want to marry her. Straight up. Straight up. But I want to get right into it. This is all about Ahsoka and all about Darth Maul. Now, Darth Maul, it's very interesting. When we saw him in Rebels, and once again, I'm not a huge Rebels fan. It goes all over the place. It's really weird. I watched all the major episodes, including the Ahsoka Tano versus Darth Vader fight. You have to watch that one, right, to understand it. But I'm not a big fan of it. But in it, when you see Darth Maul, he's a ranting, raving, very spiritual hermit. And the old Darth Maul, the one during the Clone Wars, was just a thug. He's a guy who joined the Sith to play with some lightsabers and to cut people up. He's like, he thought it would be a biker gang, basically. However, he's not that. He is very spiritual, and although he's never been gifted in far-seeing or clairvoyant, apparently he has had visions that even usurp Yoda, and he's predicted who the destroyer of the Jedi is going to be. He knows it's Anakin Skywalker. And I'm wondering what happened, what is the cause of this? Now remember, the last time we saw him, he was captured by Sidious and put in his dungeon. Now God only knows what happened to Darth Maul in the dungeons of Darth Sidious, but apparently it has broken his mind and made him more spiritual and maybe opened him to that side of the Force, where he's actually to see the bigger picture and not just here for fistfights. And I thought it was really interesting. Those scenes where Ahsoka is speaking to him, it really felt like she was speaking to a serial killer. Like he was a real psychopath. It was super entertaining. And there we have it. They eventually break into the lightsaber fight that we were all here to see. And it was beautiful. And I couldn't believe what I'd seen. I mean, Clone Wars normally has great action, but this particular fight was so good. And I had to look it up, and apparently they actually did stop-motion animation with Ray Park, the original Darth Maul, to accomplish this. They really did look like real martial artists in a real fight, and it was elegant and it was beautiful. And at the end, spoiler alert, Ahsoka wins, but what I like about it is she doesn't overpower him. She wins by outthinking him. When she's able to disarm him by grabbing the handle of the thing and tossing him off the side, and then able to basically mercy him by holding him with the Force, her telekinesis, it was a well-done thing, because I don't think we really think that she's going to overpower Darth Maul, a guy who is typically likes fighting multiple Jedis at the same time. Now, his capture is creating all sorts of weird ramifications that I want us to get into and I want us to think deeply about. So here's what's happening. He has been captured by Republic forces and he's headed back to Coruscant for questioning. So if he gets back to Coruscant, are you telling me that during Revenge of the Sith, inside their prisons, Darth Maul was there and Ahsoka Tano was in the building, and we never seen him, we never heard a peep from her, no one ever discusses it at all? I mean, it's possible. It's getting really weird. It's hard for us to swallow. However, it's kind of cool that that kind of thing is going on while they're killing Grievous and, Anakin's being corrupted. And I'm actually hoping that this leads to an opportunity for Ahsoka to have more scenes with Anakin. I actually thought that him saying goodbye to her before her mission was going to be the last time he saw her, and other than their duel in the future, when she discovers who he is. I'm glad that there's going to be another chance, and I'm wondering if something's going to go down that's she's going to see the darkness in him or get scared of him or something. But there has to be a reason why she would not scurry the entire galaxy for her beloved Anakin, because, Apprentice and them are tight, but I would say they're tighter than most. Some people have speculated some other things, but I think there's a lot of weird shippers and a lot of perverts out there. It's not that. He's her teacher. He loves her. He's a father figure. She loves him. There we go. But that is my review for the week. What did you guys think of the Phantom Apprentice? Am I hitting any nails on the things? Did I miss anything? And I did see Drayden Voss. It's not a lot to talk about. He was on a hologram for a second. But, did I miss any other Easter eggs or theories or philosophies? Do you actually think we're going to have more in between Revenge of the Sith scenes with them? I can't wait to hear it. Please put it in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And remember to keep tuning in to Voice of the Fat Mantis for more mind canon and also more reviews on science fiction and horror and other fun and shenanigans. Until next time, ciao for now.